Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. So, on to this episode, I will be ranking weapon type for Age of Reforging of the Freelands. So, as for um as for today's episode, okay, I will be ranking them based on their adaptability, burst raw damage, survivability, utility, and scaling power. Okay, we're gonna go for the first weapon, which is the one-handed weapon. As for the one-handed weapon, for adaptability, this weapon is very flexible. You're gonna have one-handed and also one-handed with shield. So this weapon is very flexible. They have a different kind of, I would say, type onto it. So you can use either one-handed with two-handed or one-handed with hammer. Yeah. So yeah, it's a good one. And as for the adaptability one, I would say this weapon is S tier. So this weapon has 3 pairing, which is on two-handed, heal, and you can use it by itself. So yeah, this weapon, as for the adaptability one, is amazing. Yeah, how about two-handed? As for the adaptability one, I would go for S tier 2 because this weapon got full arm, can use it for one-handed too. So this weapon is good. So I would guess this is S tier 2 for adaptability. And as for range. As for range, you have 2 weapons, which is because it's classified as a range weapon. So you can use bow, you can also use crossbow. So for this one, I would say plus this type of weapon S tier 2. Yeah, range is really good. I mean, this is so far is for adaptability, right? Adaptability. Okay, as for dual weapon only have 2, which is dual weapon and then or dual weapon with arm. So you can only have 2, in my opinion, if I'm not wrong. So as for that, I would say it's A tier adaptability. As for polearm also have 1 and 2, which is polearm alone and also polearm with two-handed weapon. So I would say this is an A tier for sure. As for a shield adaptability, it is also 2, which is a shield and one-handed sword. So I would say this is A tier. Okay, let's put everything in a D first before we next one. Okay, all right. As for the burst or raw damage, I would say for one-handed sword, burst raw damage is it's on the middle. I would say I would give him a B. One-handed is a B, definitely on the raw damage, burst or raw damage. Then as for spiral slash, I mean on two-handed weapon, obviously this deal a lot of damage. Burst like high damage, like boom. Even on the early game, it just hit like fuck. Yeah. Then on the next one, I'm gonna go for shield. Shield obviously D tier. You're not gonna do a lot of damage at all, but you still deal something about it. You can deal some damage. But if you combo it with other weapon, we're gonna touch it later. As for the shield alone, it's a D tier. If you just use that weapon alone, it's D tier. Okay, we're gonna go for ranged weapon. As for the ranged weapon, this deal a lot of damage. Yeah. Especially if using crossbow dealt a lot of penetration damage. I can tell you that a lot of damage. It hurts so much. And as for the bow have a lot of DPS, and you can, you know, a lot of things with the bow. But yeah, I would say it's S tier for sure. As for dual blade is DPS is good, but you're gonna eat a lot of stamina. So you know, once you have out of stamina, so anything about it. So I'm gonna say A. It's a good damage, but I'm not gonna rating S tier. As for pole arm, I would say burst raw damage. I would say A. I would say A, much better than potential. So yeah. So this is a burst or raw damage, and we're gonna go for survivability. Obviously, survivability. We're gonna start with before that. Um, okay. As for burst or raw damage, all right, burst or raw damage. If we combine, like two-handed and sword, yeah, this is different one. Okay, I'm gonna make a sword and dual wield. If you combine these two, weapon like a bastard sword, where it's two weapon but also count as one-handed weapon. So this is busted. Obviously, this is S tier, like even better than the two-handed sword alone. So you have multiple of skill that did a lot of damage, and you debuff and everything. So yeah. And then how about we rank for two-handed and also pole arm? Damn son, pole definitely S tier. You have a lot of range. This is mainly pole arm, but up as a two-handed, so you can use this one, then this one. So you have a lot of damage. You have a bonkers damage, but damage wise, the two-handed and one-handed weapon is this one. This combo is much higher than this combo, in my opinion. Yeah. And then how about sword and shield? If shield alone, definitely gonna be on D tier, but if you use sword and this one, it's gonna be on B tier for burst or raw damage wise. Yeah, I would say that. Yeah, I'm gonna say that. And F for ranged weapon. As for ranged weapon, I would say there's no the same. There's no combination, if I'm not wrong. But as for dual blade with an arm is it's the same. There's no, I would say it's still the same. So yeah. So that's for the mix, the hybrid one. I'm gonna go for survivability. Or if you're just using one-handed weapon is they got some good, you know, debuff, like this one. Increasing target's accuracy, dodge by 5 to 6%, then have they increase the stamina and everything. This weapon is good. It can make you a little bit survive, you know, can survive for a while. As for two-handed weapon, you can be in like a can deal a lot of stamina damage, which you know, will broke the enemy's stamina regen and everything, and then you are also good at blocking and using a two-handed weapon. So I think this weapon, let's see, also have a CC. So I would say this is an A tier weapon. And as for skill, absolutely bonkers. You got this one, aggro, and aggro them, and then you can knock them down, increase your block rate and everything. This shield is amazing, you know. That's the main purpose of the shield, obviously. And if a range is a bit, it's not designed for being, it's just designed to be dealing damage, but it also has some, you know, reducing movement speed. Then I was wrong, so That's the only thing that can make them survive. Yeah, yeah. So I would rate them because they only have one. At least they have one skill. That as for dual blade, I would say it's on the early side of the game. It's not as good, yeah? But on the late game, definitely it will block everything, can dodge everything. Everything is amazing, and yeah, the cooldown speed is also good. Everything is is so good on late game, but on I would say survivability is not a great of tea. Okay, and then as for pole arm have a lot of C. This is definitely one of the good one. I would say 8. So this is for the survivability. Okay, and then for scaling, the last one I would say for scaling, or maybe overall for the late game. For the late game, I would rate this one is absolutely S tier. This one, even a combination of this or combination of this is bonkers. All right. And how about one-handed weapon? One-handed weapon, you can use it as a pure tank. This and this combo is amazing. I would say this is, yeah, no, because damage is everything. But if you cannot hit it, you can still block the stamina regeneration and everything. So yeah, I would say this is a A tier. And then as for range, I would say range in late game is a bonkers too. Definitely bonkers. Dual blade, dual blade. I mean, the B tier. You don't have to agree with me, but in my opinion, it's not as good. In late game, for pole arm is amazing. A lot of CC. They have some good damage and long reach. You know, if you use short weapon, sometimes you will miss. You cannot hit the enemy. If the enemy is moving to the side, yeah, they just cannot hit you. But yeah. So yeah, this is my my tier list for weapon type in Age of Reforging. I mean, you feel free. You don't have to agree with me. You can have your own opinion. You know, comment down in the section below. How wrong am I? This tier list, but I don't give a damn. Maybe I do. Maybe I do. So, anyways, thank you very much for watching. You know, see you guys next time. Bye bye.